Second, no one is anxious about change, and I don't think it's fair to mischaracterize our opposition to your specific proposal on privatization. We may not be able to agree if it's the right policy. I hope you can agree that I think it's the wrong policy, and that's my view, and we ought to be debating the policy. But to characterize our thoughts on this side of the aisle about your proposal, about just calling them merely we're afraid of change or it's frightening, is wrong. We think there are good policy differences, and we think there's a different approach to take. And this is a debate about the approach to address concerns that we share. And the Chairman has said it, and the ranking member has said it. Concerns about, does the FAA move fast enough? Does it move fast enough on personnel? Does it move fast enough on procurement? And Mr. DeFazio's proposal addresses those concerns and addresses the funding issue very well, the stability in funding as well. And I think we can have a debate on the policy choices in front of us without sort of, demeaning or mischaracterizing concerns, legitimate concerns that we have by saying we're frightened by change or anxious about change. It's not so much that. We're more than willing to change, and this amendment that Mr. DeFazio has proposed addresses change, just not in the way that the majority side has put forward through the AIR Act. And I just want to make that point, and I made other points about why I think our policy is better and why there are differences. And I want to underscore another point, and I'll yield back, about the consensus issue. It's not so much that we're going to differ here, and that means there's no consensus on this particular proposal. There's quite a bit of opposition, and there's some support as well to the Chairman's proposal on privatization, but we're nowhere near a consensus on that. And the big concern is we have an underlying bill, except for privatization, that is a really good bill with a lot of great changes, a lot of great reforms. We can take credit for it. Hopefully the Senate can take credit for it, and the administration can take credit for it, but for this issue on privatization. It could be a really great bill, a great step forward that is a permanent step forward, not an extension, not yet another extension, but a permanent step forward on good changes on certification, on UAS and other things, but for this particular issue. And I want to underscore that point, and with that, yield back.
Thank the gentleman. Mr. Mitchell is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would agree with my colleague that we certainly don't want